What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Chaotic the King, man, coming at you with another video, even though it's been a while since my last video. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's been over a year. Company's still rolling. Still out here grinding it up. You know, making ends meet, what have you. This year, I just said to myself, that's me. I'm gonna just go ahead and try to jump back into this YouTube thing and start back vlogging, start back letting you guys know, really what it is out here in these trucking streets, right? So, been over a year since I made my last video, and I never did make a continuation to what actually had happened with that freight, right? So a lot of people want to know, a lot of people have been asking about it, and I never made a follow-up video to that. But long story short, it worked out in my favor, right? I'm still rolling, been doing it now for over a year. My insurance got cheaper, so no claims was filed against me. But anyway, let's see if I can tell this story the right way while I'm rolling, right? Basically, I took that freight to Florida, and the receiver, they basically refused it, due to an appointment time, which wasn't my fault. It was the fault of the broker. So I had a conversation with them. They told me basically, after a long drawn out day, that I could bring the freight back, and that they were going to pay me to redeliver the freight once they got the paperwork and stuff taken care of, right? So when the next day came and they called me with the updated paperwork and a new delivery time to go ahead and deliver the freight, but they didn't want to pay me for taking the freight out there the first time like we agreed upon, you know what I'm saying? And I came all the way back home because I didn't want to spend the night in Florida. So I drove back to Georgia, knowing that they were going to pay me for this trip regardless. So when I end up coming back home, got the email from them, and then got a call saying, what time can I get there? This is what time the freight needs to be there. I said, I'm not going anywhere until you guys pay me. So basically, it just became a long, drawn out situation where they weren't going to pay me, and I wasn't going to deliver the freight. So basically, they end up calling the police on me in my town, in my county, right? Because they're in a whole nother state. I don't know. I think they were maybe in New Jersey or something. I don't remember. But, because I didn't want to deliver that freight without getting paid for it, they called the police on me, tried to say I stole their freight, right? So I called the police, and I wanted to find out what was going on. And I told the police that the freight isn't stolen. The freight is sitting on a yard, right? Sitting on a trucking yard, fenced in, cameras, lights, seal on the trailer, lock on the trailer. Everything's there. They just need to pay me. So talked to the police about that pretty much, and they said, well, if that's the case, there's nothing that we can do, right? So far, everything's going my way, right? Except for I'm losing money because I'm not driving my trailer because it's loaded with product. So then the insurance broker calls my insurance company and tries to file a claim. What they do that for, right? They tried to call and file a claim and said that I stole their product. So my insurance company told me what they were trying to do, and my insurance company, after I explained to them, like I said before, the trailer's on the yard, the trailer's got the original seal on it, the trailer's got a padlock on it, it's fenced in, it's lit, cameras, all of that. Product isn't stolen. Product's just sitting in the trailer, waiting on them to pay me to do a redeliver. So my insurance company told me that if that's the case, there's nothing that they can do about it, right? So I'm not gonna lie, this probably had been drawn out for about a week or so, right? But before the weekend, before the week had officially became a week, I realized that even though I wasn't going to budge, that every day that my truck and trailer isn't moving, I'm losing money. So I had to come up with a solution, because I was about to break down and say, let me go ahead and just take a loss, take that L, and go ahead and deliver this stuff so I can go ahead and get my trailer free so that I can go ahead and start back making money. But then I got smart and I said, well, wait a minute. I can run power only, leave the trailer behind, right? And make some money just pulling other people's trailers. So that's what I did. So within that week, I was back on the road making money. I just didn't have my trailer, which I really wanted my trailer instead of pulling other people's trailers. But between that time, which I can tell you guys that this ordeal, it took about a week and a half or 2 weeks to get resolved, right? But when the broker was trying to handle me, you know, as far as saying, you know, we filed an insurance claim against you and you're going to have to pay, and we called the police against you and you're going to go to jail, or you're going to have to go to court for holding our product or getting rid of our product and all this. And I basically had to shut them down and let them know that this is not how the game is going to go. I've already talked to the police and you guys don't have a claim, right? Your product is sitting on the yard, locked up, you know, lock and key, so to speak, and I'm just waiting on my money. And if you can't pay me my money, then we have no words to discuss any further. So then, you know, they call me back, they tell me that, well, you know, we're filing a claim with your insurance and they're going to pay us, they're going to pay out on this load because you stole this load from us. So again, I had to remind them that no, that's not how the game is working. This load isn't reported stolen, and I already spoke with my insurance company, and due to the fact that the load is under lock and key, the load is on the yard, the load is just secured, hasn't been vandalized, that you guys have no claim. So basically, my insurance company says that the only thing that can be done is for me and you, Mr. Broker, to work this situation out. So, you know, again, our conversations short, limited, but they ran out of options. Meanwhile, I wasn't going to budge, right? Even though, you know, I talked to other truckers, I talked to other people, and everybody said, look, man, you should just go ahead and just take the product and then just take the loss. But I didn't want to do that, especially being new in the business. I wasn't going to be taken advantage of like that. Not me. So, long story short, people, I just said, I called them and I told them what I wanted and how this was going to play out, right? Because they had no win, and when I thought I didn't have a win, I was still winning because I was rolling power only, right? So basically I told them that I'm going to need you guys to pay me what you owe me from the beginning. Plus, you guys need to pay me again for doing this run. Plus, you guys need to pay me for the fuel that I wasted because you guys told me that I can come home. And also, guys, during the recording, when the lady told me that I can come home, I forgot to tell you that I actually downloaded an app that can let me record phone calls. So, you know, I wanted to just make sure that everything was all good because, you know, I had sat out there for like 10 hours, right? You know, I had no drive time. My drive time was gone. So I had the, you know, personal conveyance all the way back home. But anyway, that's another story within itself. But I didn't get in any trouble. I didn't get, there was no issues with that. But the point was that I was out there all day and I made no money. But I had her on recording saying that they were going to pay me, and, saying that, yes, we're going to pay you. And, everything that I basically made a demand for. But long story short, they caved to my demands, and they paid me everything that I was requesting to get that load delivered. And that's pretty much it. But that was about a week and a half, 2 weeks, and I had went almost a week without making any money until I had realized about running power only and stuff like that. But my point, people, is whether you're a vet in this business or you're new in this business and you're learning, don't let these companies run you over, right? You have rights. You have, you just know how things need to go. And, right, like in reality, the way I see it is that the broker is working for you. Even though the broker is really working for themselves, and they're working to secure loads from the shippers or receivers so that we can deliver. Ultimately, it's us, it's our company, it's our truck, it's our fuel, right? It's our breakdowns, it's our maintenance. Stuff that nobody's going to pay for. Nobody's going to come out their pocket when you got a flat tire and say, hey, we'll cover that for you, no sweat, since you're delivering our load. Everything's on you. If the freight goes bad, if it spoils, if it falls over, it breaks, everything's on you. In this whole operation, you, the owner operator, have the most to lose than anybody, right? Because as I was saying before, they can call the police on you, man. They can open up claims with your insurance against you while you're out here doing your job, thinking you're doing what you're supposed to do. Meanwhile, you're getting stabbed in the back. So always think of yourself before you think of others when it comes to this truck game. You make sure that your T's are crossed, your I's are dotted, and you do what you got to do. And if you do it that way, you'll be able to survive in this game. That's how I've been doing it. And that's how I've been able to roll. Right? And, there's a lot of other things to talk about, like mechanical breakdowns, which I've had, tires, which I had to replace many, many, many of them, and, losing freight. Not losing as far as bids and things like that, because people want to take low rates versus, we would need to get out here and run these brokers up to get this money that we're supposed to be getting. But all that's going to be in other videos, right? But meanwhile, I just wanted to give you guys a closing on that video that I filmed like over a year ago. But other than that, this is Chaotic King, man. I'm rolling. I'm headed to Austell, Georgia to drop off this load, and I'm going to be done for the day. But other than that, though, man, nice to see y'all again. If you're checking out my video, I appreciate it. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and I will be dropping more videos through the year for sure. So y'all lock me in, man. And if you guys got any questions or comments about any situations that you've had, and you want me to make a video about it, talk about it, if I'm winning, I want to be able to make sure to help you guys win as well. There's way more than enough money. There's more than enough trucks. There's more than enough everything for everybody to eat. So let's eat together. You know what I'm saying? It's your boy Chaotic King, man. I'm rolling. And I'm out. I'll let y'all next video. Deuces.